Hey guys, it's Tiff and welcome back to my channel. You already know what today's video is, so I do not need to tell you twice. What is up? So I have bought a lot of books over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I will say my husband has bought a lot of these, but I have a lot of books in front of me to show you guys. I can't even pick them all up at once to show you because I tried that and I dropped them all. But yeah, there's literally so many, let me count. 22 books to show you guys. Getting right on into all the books that I've bought, I'm gonna try to do this pretty quickly. So the first book I bought is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I read It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us by her, and I wanted to read more books by her, so I bought a few, which you'll see them all in this haul, but this is one of the first ones I bought, and I'm super excited to read this. I'll read you a little piece of the synopsis real quick. After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns to the town where all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridges Kenna has burned are proving to be impossible to rebuild. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward. So I'm very excited to read this. It sounds pretty interesting. We'll see how it goes. Moving on, the next book I bought is one that I actually did already read, and if you want to see what I think of this book, go watch my Everything I Read in 2022. This is the last book I read of 2022, and let me say, it's a good one. And that is Something from Tiffanys by Melissa Hill. This is about two couples, Ethan and Vanessa, and Gary and Rachel. All 4 of them are visiting New York City on Christmas Eve, and both of the boyfriends buy something for their girlfriends from Tiffanys to give to them on Christmas, but something happens and their lives end up intersecting for this thing that happens, and only time will tell if true love will prevail, which is exactly what it says on the back of the book. So I'm not just trying to be cheesy, that's what it says. Moving on, the next book that I got is Be With Me by Jennifer L. I don't know how to say her last name, but I basically just picked this up, read the back, and I was like, that sounds really interesting, so I got it. I've never heard anyone talking about it, but it sounds really good. It's about this girl named Teresa. She's having a tough year. She's in love with her big brother's best friend, and they had a mind-blowing, life-changing kiss. She just got out of a terrible relationship. She has an injury that's threatening to ruin her dance career, so she goes to plan B, which is college. Maybe she'll have a chance to convince her big brother's best friend that what they have is real, and Jace, the best friend in question, has a huge secret that he's not telling anyone, especially not his best friend's little sister, who he obviously likes because they shared the hottest kiss of his life, okay? But he certainly does not have time for a relationship, but it doesn't help that all he can think about is kissing the one girl who could ruin everything for him. I said that kind of all over the place, but it sounds very good to me. I'm very excited to read this eventually when I get to it. I have a lot of books. Clearly, this haul has 22, and that's not even all the books that I haven't read that's on my physical TBR. Anyways, moving on, next book I got is November 9th by Colleen Hoover. This is about Fallon and Ben who end up deciding to meet at the same place on the exact same day every year. Yeah, I'm excited to read it. That's the only description I'm gonna give because I don't really feel like reading the back to you guys. And next we have The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is the first in the off-campus series. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm very excited to read it. This is a hockey romance. She's about to make a deal with a college bad boy. Hannah has finally found someone who turns her on, but while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him notice, even if that means tutoring the annoying, childish hockey captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. Sounds very interesting, and I'm very excited to read it. And the next book I got is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I am very excited to read this book. I have heard that this book is so sad and will make you cry, and I literally bought it for that reason, because I want to read a book that is gonna rip my heart out, that's gonna make me cry. So I'm excited to see what all the hype is about. And another book I got because I heard some people say that it's sad and made them cry is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Neither of these books do I know what they're about, and I want to keep it that way. Sometimes I love going into books blind, which is why I'm not reading you the synopsis of these two, because I want to go into these books blind. I want to go into it not really knowing knowing what they're about so that I can just figure it out as I read. So yeah. Okay, next book I got is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. I got this simply because look at this cover. Look at this cover. This book is absolutely beautiful. I literally need to just display this in my room somewhere because it's just so pretty. I love it. So this book is about Abby Abernathy. She's a good girl. She doesn't drink or swear, and she has the appropriate percentage of cardigans in her wardrobe. Abby believes she has enough distance between her and the darkest of her path, but when she arrives at college with her best friend, her path to a new beginning is quickly challenged by Eastern University's walking one-night stand. Travis Maddox, lean cut and covered in tattoos, is exactly what Abby needs and wants to avoid. He spends his nights winning money in a floating fight ring and spends his days as the ultimate college campus charmer. Intrigued by Abby's resistance to his appeal, Travis tricks her into his daily life with a simple bet. If he loses, he must remain abstinent for a month. If Abby loses, she must live in Travis's apartment for the same amount of time. Either way, Travis has no idea that he has met his match. Tell me that doesn't sound good. Tell me that doesn't sound good. And the cover is absolutely stunning, so can't be mad either way, because even if I don't like it, at least I can display a beautiful cover. Okay, the next 3 books is a trilogy, and that is the Breathless Trilogy by Maya Banks. So the first one is Rush, the second one is Fever, and the third one is Burn. First of all, I love these covers. They are beautiful. I love how simple they are. They're just so pretty. Basically these books are about Gabe, Jace, and Ash. They are 3 of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the country, and each one follows a different guy and their love life. So the first one is about Gabe. He sees Mia walk into the ballroom at the hotel's grand opening, and he was going to hell for what he planned. After all, Mia is his best friend's little sister. Gabe has starred in Mia's fantasies more than once ever since she was a teenager, with a huge crush on her brother's best friend. So what if Gabe was 14 years older? Mia knows he's way out of her league, but her attraction only goes stronger with time. She's an adult now, and there's no reason not to act on her most secret desires. So that's what the first one, Rush, is about. So the second one, Fever, is about Jace, and when he meets Bethany, he begins to feel things he's never experienced before. Jealousy and a powerful obsession that threatens him, overwhelms him, and excites him beyond control. Jace isn't sharing Bethany with anyone. He's determined to be the only man in her life, and it's jeopardizing a lifelong friendship with Ash. Bethany will be his and his alone, even if it meant turning his back on his best friend. So that's the second one, and the third one is about Ash. Obviously, he's the last of the 3. Ash has always been known to explore his wilder side, extreme and uncompromising. And he prefers women who want it like that, even the ones he's shared with his best friend, Jace. But Jace is involved with a woman he has no intention of sharing, and now even Gabe has settled into a relationship with someone who gives him everything he needs, leaving Ash feeling restless and unfulfilled. Then Ash meets Josie, who seems immune to his charms and his wealth. Intrigued, he begins relentless pursuit, determined she won't be the one who got away. I'm honestly really excited to read this trilogy because it sounds really good to me. That's that trilogy. Next book I got is Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin. So this book is about Claire, and she reluctantly agrees to gig as a playgroup musician for the babies of wealthy families on New York's Avenue. Claire is surprised to find that she is smitten with her new employees, a welcoming clique of wellness addicts with impossibly shiny hair who whirl from juice cleansers to overpriced miracle vitamins to spin classes with limitless energy. But as Claire grows closer to the stylish women who pay her bills, she uncovers an explosive secret that no amount of activated charcoal can fix. I thought it sounded interesting because it's literally about a bunch of rich moms, and clearly they have some big secret, and I'm just really curious what the big secret is. And then next I got Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I read Bad Girl Reputation without knowing that it was the second in a series. Again, if you want to see what I thought about that book, it's in the 2022 wrap up. But yeah, this book is just the first in that series, so I thought I'd get it and read it since I read the second one. And then next I got a Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. This is about a girl who's going through a tough time, and her parents are worried about her mental health, so they make a plan plan to spend 3 months with family and friends in Winchester, England. She meets a boy and you know how it goes from there. That's what this book is about. I'm excited to read it. It is a YA book and it just seems like it'll be a fun, cute little romance. Easy, quick read. I mean, this is literally less than 300 pages. So, and the next book I got is Tell Me Lies by Carola Lovering. I don't know if that's even how you pronounce it, but I got this. I'm sure you guys have all seen this book before. First of all, I just want to say I love the colors of this book. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I also do not know what this book is about, okay? I don't. This is one of those books that I really just want to go into it blind. I got this. I guess if you want to know what it's about, you can look it up. Okay, next book I got because my sister told me to. It is the first in the series of Unfortunate Events series. This is a kid's book or like an older kid's book. My sister loves this series. She used to read it when we were younger and I remember her reading it, and I was FaceTiming her while I was at Barnes the other day and she was like, you should get it and read it. I know it's like kind of like younger kiddish, but you should read it because it's really good. So I got the first one and that is The Bad Beginning. I loved this movie. Me and my sister literally used to watch the movie all the time. So I'm excited to read it. I only got the first one just because that trip I had already bought a lot of books and there's literally like 13 in this series and I was not about to buy all 13 in one go. And then the next book I got is another book I got because I saw a lot of people say that it is a very sad book, will make you cry, rip your heart out, whatever, and that is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I don't know exactly what this is about other than it's about a girl who gets raped, I believe. Her brother's best friend rapes her. So from what I've heard, this is about like after that. So yeah, I feel like this is gonna, like everyone said, be really sad because it is about how she got raped. But again, I wanted some books that were gonna be really sad, rip my heart out, and I want them for a video. So hint, hint, stay tuned. You wanna see me crying to books at some point soon. Okay, next book I got is Murdered at 17 by Christine Conrad. I am excited to read this. This book sounds so interesting. It's a YA mystery thriller book. My husband picked it up while we were at Barnes and goes, here, read the back. It sounds interesting. So I did, and it does. This is actually on my January TBR. Again, I'm going to shamelessly self-promo. If you haven't seen my January TBR video, you should go watch it. I blindly pick my January TBR from a jar, and it was pretty fun. So go watch it. This is one of those books on my TBR. So the next book I got is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I'm sure a lot of you know what this book is. It is extremely, extremely, extremely hyped up. And it also is a YA book. It is the first in a series. So this book is about Addie, who is murdered by her boyfriend who ends up killing himself. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. So she's now a senior and she decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal is innocent. And the fine line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. I think this sounds really good. I'm sure I'll end up buying the last two because I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy, but it sounds really good and I'm excited to read it. I also love the cover because I think it just looks really cool. So next is also a YA book and it's called The Lake by Natasha Preston. This book is about these two best friends who used to be campers at this camp and now they are going as camp counselors, but they did something terrible while they were campers and they've kept it secret all these years. But then they receive a message saying the lake never forgets. So the secret they have buried for so many years is at risk of being resurfaced. I thought this sounded really good. I was really in a romance binge, but I'm starting to try to get into other type of books. So when I read this, I was like, ooh, sounds interesting, gotta get it. Add it to the like my arm because I didn't have a basket, but you know what I mean. And the next book is also YA and it is Dark and Shallow Lies. I'm pretty sure when I looked this up there is a sequel, so that's exciting. This is by Jenny Myers Sane. So I'll just read you the synopsis because I don't even know how to like describe the synopsis. We're just gonna read it. This tiny town where a 17-year-old Grace spends her summers is a self-proclaimed psychic capital of the world and the place where Alora Pellerin, oh my gosh, Gray's best friend disappeared 6 months earlier. Gray can't believe Alora vanished into thin air any more than she can believe that nobody in this town full of psychics knows what happens. But as she digs into the night that Alora went missing, she begins to realize that everybody in this town is hiding something. Her grandmother, her childhood crush, and even her late mother, whose secrets continue to call to Gray from beyond the grave. When a mysterious stranger emerges from the bayou, a stormy-eyed boy who links to Alora and the town's bloody history, Gray realizes, well, La Charette's past is far more present and dangerous than she ever understood. Suddenly, she doesn't know who she can trust. In a town where secrets lurk just below the surface, where a murderer is on the loose, nobody can be presumed innocent. And La Charette's dark and shallow lies may rip the town apart. The last few books are kind of like dark and mysterious like this, and I'm really excited to read all of them because I feel like I'm kind of in that vibe right now. And the last book of the haul, the very last one, is another YA mystery thriller book, and it is called The Grim Rose Girls. Here's the synopsis. 4 friends, 1 murderer, and a dark fate that may leave them all doomed. After the mysterious death of their best friend, Ella, Yuki, and Rory are the talk of their elite school, Grimrose Academy. The police ruled Ariana's death as suicide, but the trio is determined to find out what really happened. When Nanny arrives as their newest roommate, it sets into motion a series of events that no one could have predicted. As the girls retrace their friends' final days, they discover a dark secret about Grimrose. Ariana wasn't the first girl dead. They soon learn that all the past murders are connected to ancient fairy tale curses, and that their own fates are tied to the stories, dooming the girls to brutal and gruesome endings unless they can break the cycle for good. I just got chills reading that. That sounds so good, and you can't tell me it doesn't. You can't tell me it doesn't, because it does. But that is all the books. That is my haul. It was pretty big. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was a little bit of a longer one. But if you did enjoy it, you should definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because I'm making a lot of book content, and if that's your type of thing, then you will love my channel, okay? Promise. I'm pretty sure you'll love my channel regardless though. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'm so excited to film this video. Okay, hurt my foot. Ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
I just dropped all of the books. Who's a good girl? Travis tricks her into his... Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. What am I saying? Oh my gosh. With him. Or San. I think it's Sane. I don't know. I ain't done. I got 2 books left. I'll be done in like 2 minutes. I'm sorry. But pizza, we got pizza. He just sat it on the bed. I'm so excited. Okay, Alora? Wow, what am I saying? And the place where Pellerin